I don't know what to say about this club. I was having a good time watching Real Madrid on Sunday. It was actually 1-1. And for some reason, the referees had to actually answer the phone call and follow instructions. Mbappe, who was it? Brahim Diaz. The guy actually cleared the ball, but his other leg was in motion and he just touched him a little bit in the section.
The mid-range.
And the referee said, penalty a favor de Real Madrid. Alright guys, welcome to episode 16 of the Score Vault. Today we're here on Tuesday recording the game, and your team actually played today. You guys are actually out of Carabao Cup. Arsenal beat you guys. They actually swept you guys. 3-2 at the Stamford Bridge and 1-0 at the Etihad. I'm sorry, brother. The Emirates. I'm just so happy. I never know what the stadiums are. But anyways, guys, thank you guys for coming to this new session. It's going to be entertaining as always. We had a lot of good matches over the weekend, more upcoming, a break on Champions League, and now we're here to talk about football and predictions and fun times. So we're going to start with you guys. Now you're out of the Carabao Cup. Before we continue with the program, what hope do you have this year of winning a competition?
First of all, the game was very, very. I understand exactly what the coach was doing. Like the first half was very, very boring.
I understand you're broke. Speak up. We want to hear. I want to understand.
Yeah, so the game was very boring in the first half. We had a very pragmatic lineup. No Cole Palmer, no Estevao beginning the match with Garnacho. It was very pragmatic, to be honest. And even though the idea was that we hold down the fort for the first half and then second half we power up and score. But I don't think it makes sense. You cannot be losing 1-0 and then you start a match and you're planning to play defensive when you're losing 1-0 against an Arsenal side that is very difficult to score. Come in, guns blazing. Saka is out. Trossard doesn't start. Come in, guns blazing, and then take the match to them from the beginning of the match. So it was very, very frustrating. And you're in the semi-finals. What's the worst that can happen? The worst is that you don't qualify for the finals. So why don't you come out guns blazing and then just get it over with? So I think the coach has done so well so far, but it was a very pragmatic approach, and it was just a very sad taste in the mouth, to be honest. And right now, we had the opportunity to go to the finals and we lost that. So I think the only thing here we have is to have the Champions League and we have the FA Cup. I feel good about the Champions League, to be honest. I feel good about the Champions League, especially how the draws are looking like. The round of 16 draws are not out yet, but the 3 is already out. So how we're going to play, So I feel good about that, to be honest. And I think we have that and the FA Cup to go for us. So I'm looking forward towards that.
Well, that was quite promising, even though we know how it's going to end. It's going to end in disappointment, unfortunately. But you guys also had a game over the weekend against West Ham. West Ham scored 2 goals, and one thing I would say is that your new manager, he does a good job of responding to travesty or diversity. 2-0 down, and you guys are able to come back and win the game. I actually had Chelsea to win, so I'm actually happy. But tell me about that substitution, that very quick substitution at halftime, and how you guys were able to turn it around. Do you like that? And how do you think you guys will proceed moving forward?
Yeah, so under Maresca, for example, there was absolutely no way we were going to win this game. And under Maresca, there was absolutely no way we were going to win this game.
So do you think that was a justifiable sack?
I mean,
are you happy he's gone?
Not happy he's gone because he gave us a lot, But there are positives that you need to see from every side. There's a positive and negative side. So this is a positive because Liam Rosenior, for example, he decided to play a little bit different. He brought on 3 players, Joao Pedro, 3 good players that came on and made an important impact in the game. Under Maresca, we'll probably end up with a red card in that game and then lose 2-1. So Liam Rosenior did extremely well. I was happy with the substitutions and everything. And then he's also changing the style of play. It's no longer just crosses from left to right. It's more of trying to play through the middle and stuff. So I think it's interesting and I like that for the team.
Yeah.
It's just sad that we lost the game to Arsenal, but I like that for the team. This is the first time I think in Premier League history that I've gone down 2-0 and come back to win the game 3-2.
You said first time in Premier League history?
Yeah, for the past 10 years, the best of my knowledge.
So you guys are not really a team that...
we come back, but it's not easy to come back. It's not easy to go 2-0 down and come back and win the game,
Yeah, you guys will not know that.
After the first half.
Yeah.
So I think...
Well, that's good. And Joao Pedro too, he's been very, very, very... He's red hot, I would say. Scoring so many goals. He scored a brace against Napoli, and I think he scored in that game against West Ham. So
Goal and assist.
that's very good. Good from Chelsea. I like the form. But even though there's a few things to figure out, I wish you guys the best. As long as you guys catch my bets, I have no problem betting on you guys. I only have issues with Chelsea when you try to, step up and talk to the big boys. But that was one.
We are a big boy. I don't know what you're talking about, but it's fair.
Listen, I've always told you this. I've told you, Chelsea is not a big club. You guys, you don't have 2 Champions League titles and less than 6 English leagues, and you say you're a big club. That means your combined Champions League and league count is less than 10. That's nothing. But I understand you guys have a huge fan base, and that's why you guys consider yourself a big club. But we're going to leave it at that. The next game, we spoke about this. I always tell you guys, if Bayern plays the Champions League on Wednesday, do not take them the following weekend. This is the second time or the third time I'm saying this. The first time they played the Champions League, they lost to Augsburg, and I said the same thing. Last week they played against PSV, and then this weekend they lost against Hamburg. Or they drew against Hamburg. Yeah. I have nothing to say about this, but I'm just giving you guys the script on a weekly basis. That was the game that actually took live, and I didn't win because I was thinking they would at least just win, or because of what I was saying. But what do you think about Bayern? Those guys have been slowing down in the last 3 weeks. They were blowing teams out weekly, and then now they've lost and they've tied. So what do you think?
The thing is that Bayern have been playing with the same players. They've been playing with Michael Olise on the right, Luis Diaz on the left, Harry Kane through the middle. I mean, right now, technically, thank God Musiala is coming back from his injury, but the players are tiring down as well because they've been playing the exact same players the whole season.
That's true.
Luis Diaz, Olise the whole season, and teams are having they're having film about the team. They understand exactly how to defend the team. It's like, for example, you're defending Arsenal and then you have 5 players at the back because they cover the wings. So I think teams are also figuring out how to play Bayern, for example, and Kompany is not a very dynamic coach. He hasn't coached for so long to understand the dynamics in changing the formation, changing things. Like something isn't working, he miraculously changes it and then it starts working. So I don't think the problem is just that they've been playing very well because they began the season with extremely good players. But as you play and the season goes on, first things first, the players get tired as well. Second, teams have film on your team. They watch your team, they know exactly that, hey, this is the main player, this is how they play. If we hold Harry Kane from giving long balls for us, or if we hold, or if Michael Olise doesn't go here, he wouldn't be able to score. So I think that's the main thing. The coach doesn't have experience enough to be very dynamic. And second thing, players are getting tired as well. So it's becoming, and this is the business end of the season. This is like a business end when you can technically go out of all your cups if you're not careful.
That makes sense.
You can lose the Champions League if you're not careful, and all you have left is the league. So this is like the business end of this, where you have to be very focused, be dynamic, and change a couple of things. So I think that's where Bayern is having issues.
Yep. And just like my team, Barca, Bayern will always allow you to score goals. They will always allow you 1 goal, 2 goals. They'll always give you chances to score.
They'll always give you chances.
And I think that's something that can actually disturb them in the Champions League because Bayern is not really prolific defensively. They don't have that extremely good defense. And that's because they commit a lot of players up front to score many goals to control the games. That's something to watch out for Bayern. And I think that's something that they might actually face difficulties when they progress to like the quarterfinals of the Champions League. It's going to be interesting to see how things go, but I really think they can actually make some adjustments. They are now going to have like a full week of rest to play this upcoming weekend, so I'll see how things go this weekend. Next game, there is a chance that someone might actually get to shave his hair, finally.
Yep.
Man United are actually 2 wins away from having 5 wins in a row.
And if you tell me that they will do this against Man City, Arsenal, Fulham, and now they play Spurs, it's just been a roller coaster. Like, it's been a roller coaster. I think it's absolute bliss for the fans, to be honest. Absolute bliss for the fans. You have beaten Man City, you have beaten Arsenal, you have gone to you have played Fulham, where it's a very, very interesting team and stuff. You're 2-0 up, they equalize 2-2, and you get a last minute winner.
What a goal!
Everybody's everybody's Cunha. So everybody's dancing like Cunha. So it looks great on them, to be honest. And I think, it's been extremely good. Bruno Fernandes,
Red Hot. What a player. He's one of the best attacking midfielders.
I cannot imagine that Amorim was playing that guy as almost like a defensive midfielder.
You cannot believe so many things about Amorim at this point in time. You cannot believe he was Kobe Mainoo on the bench. You cannot believe he was playing with that formation.
Yeah,
it's just absurd.
Crazy. You can see players like Alex Iwobi after the Fulham match. He was praising Kobe Mainoo, saying that he has the strength of a Ghanaian in him. Playing so well, covering the highest kilometers in the field and stuff.
Yep.
So it's just it's outrageous that he was sitting on the bench or out of the team. So I think United were in turmoil, to be honest. And I think Michael Carrick has pretty much just said, "Hey, I'm putting you guys out there to be free." Because to be honest, looking at the team, they have the talent. You cannot have Wayne that scored this amount of goals. Bruno Fernandes, a very good player. Sesko, good player. Cunha, good player. Casemiro has 5 Champions Leagues, man. He's a good player inside. Kobe Mainoo, Amad Diallo. Like, they have good stuff in there. Like, they have good players. I think Michael Carrick's mindset is that go and be free.
Yep.
I haven't really seen any like high coaching mentality that's saying that, okay, he has changed his changes. He has changed.
Yeah.
But I feel like the main thing happening here is that he's playing the players in their best positions and he's asking them to be free. So I think that's what's going on with United, and yeah, I think it's so good so far.
Yeah, and that was very evident at the game between Man United and Arsenal, where Doku was playing 3-1-2 with Bruno Fernandes, and he actually scored a goal.
Yeah,
you saw Cunha have a shot all the way out of the 18-yard box. So I think Man United are playing very well. But spoiler alert is coming up this weekend. Spoiler alert, guys. We're going to talk about Man United's upcoming game, but there's a spoiler alert, as you know.
Yeah.
But what about the next game? Do you have anything to say about the upcoming game?
Okay, so the next game here we have Man City versus Spurs. So we spoke about this one, and Spurs has pretty much been Man City's kryptonite for the past 4 seasons, 5 seasons, when Mourinho was in charge, when Pochettino was in charge. I think this is the highest thing that Pep Guardiola has lost.
They always give trouble to Guardiola. They
always give him trouble. It's like that kryptonite, to be honest. They have. It was looking like a 4-0 game. They ended up being 2-2, where Spurs were actually pushing off a win. Not to talk of Dominic Solanke's scorpion kick.
My gosh.
Mkhitaryan or Olivier Giroud. Yeah, so man, that was a great game. And you spoke about this. What do you think?
I knew it. I mean, guys, come on, I knew it. I have the script for every game. I'm not gonna be cocky about it. But the thing is that Spurs is very, very unconventional. When you think they'll play badly, they'll play very well. And then the games you think they should win, they'll just do whatever they can do in the game. So I really knew that. And besides, Man City, those guys have not been playing well in the second half. Against Galatasaray, against Wolves, they didn't score a second half goal. And even in that game, that same weekend, they scored 2 early goals. And they didn't even score in the second half. So Man City have been playing, they don't really play coherent football like from start to end. They start well, or they either, finish well. They cannot go both ways. And Spurs were able to capitalize. I didn't see this coming because in the first half, Spurs were not playing very well at all. They couldn't generate any offense. They couldn't create very good chances. Man City had 2 easy goals, but the second half was complete opposite. Spurs were having so many chances, they were scoring goals, and they actually almost won the game. And Man City did not even score a single second half goal. So that was a good game from Spurs. I had them to either win or draw. They did draw the game, and I was happy about that. But then it's going to be interesting to see what Man City does this upcoming weekend against Liverpool. But I was not surprised at all that they actually drew this game because Spurs, they always have Man City's number. They'll either beat Man City at home, especially when you had Heung-min Son in the team, they'll just win Man City. Like, they'll even sweep Man City. And Man City is no longer that team anymore. Even though they had Rodri, who was controlling the game, but you could see something missing.
Yeah.
They don't really control the game that well anymore. The defenders are not really that comfortable. They don't really connect easily. So, you cannot play like that for long in the Premier League. Teams, I think players come and go.
It's time for Pep to just call it and then,
It's time for Pep to call it.
Yeah, it's time for him to call it and then just retire from the Premier League.
Pep said that many teams have spent more money than City, so they have to spend more money.
It's crazy. But yeah, we can move forward from there. Another very interesting game was Liverpool versus Newcastle. Hugo Ekitike.
Hugo, I think that's his name,
That boy is very interesting. 2 quick fire goals after Newcastle went ahead. Extremely good goals, to be honest. And our boy, Florian Wirtz, is coming up tight. Like, tight. That boy is... That boy is doing very well. What do you think about Florian Wirtz now?
I think he's doing well. I think he's gaining confidence. And I think he's getting that connections with the attackers, with Hugo, with Mohamed Salah. Even though Salah hasn't been actually scoring a lot of goals, but he's contributing as well. And I think that confidence and the fact that he's been able to play a lot quicker than before, and he's been able to adapt to the physicality of the game, that has helped him a lot. And now you can see him find those passes, know when to actually possess the ball, we know when to lose the ball quickly. It's actually helped him a lot. So I think it's only going to go up from here. I'm actually curious to see what happens when Isak comes back. I don't know if they're going to play a 4-4-2, but now you have Hugo, who is very, very red hot, the most informed Liverpool player. You have Salah, who is a legend. And then when Isak comes back, what are they going to do? Is Hugo going to play left wing? But he can't play left wing, though, because Liverpool has the coach's tips. So he can't actually stay on the bench. I want to see what happens when Isak comes back. But Hugo is very, very exceptional. He's a forward who can play like a winger, who can dribble, who can score from anywhere. He's phenomenal. But I really liked what I saw from him. I liked what I saw from Florian Wirtz. I knew he was going to actually progress. It took time. He's like a young guy who is not that physical. Yeah, he needs time to adapt. So I actually like what I saw. They actually beat Newcastle 4-1. That was a very good win. Even though they started slow, they were able to actually adjust in the game. Shout out to Ibu Konate, who got back, from his bereavement. He played a very good game. He even scored a goal.
Yeah.
So I think he's going to be motivated for the end of the season. He's going to be motivated to play very well. Compliment Van Dijk. And then, you know what? They're going to decide to say, hey, this defense, we can play well. Let's see how we can help Kekes, because his position is the actual weak link in that defense. So they need to help him out there, get Robinson in, and that they might actually go on a run and finish top 4, because Chelsea is only declining. And I said they don't really have any European games to play. So I feel like Liverpool can actually get the top 4 spot. We'll see. But I really love what I saw from those two players.
Yeah, I think that's great, to be honest. Yeah. And obviously, there's one last thing talking about this Newcastle versus Liverpool. I just think, to be honest, Florian Wirtz is going to live up to the hype.
He's going to live up to the hype?
Yeah, I think he's going to live up to the hype. I think I've seen that.
So you are you correcting yourself? Because I knew that you were really against Florian.
No, I was against Jeremy Frimpong, not Florian Wirtz. I said Florian Wirtz will find difficulties in starting up because he's of the physicality, but I think he's going to live up to the hype, to be honest.
Okay, what about Frimpong?
Nah, I don't. Either he goes to the gym or something happens, but you can see that, to be honest, he hasn't been the best player so far. He hasn't been the best.
No, he hasn't been fit for a while.
Injuries and everything. And even when he's playing, they don't even play him at right back. They're playing on the wing to run and do the same thing.
Yeah, because he dribbles and...
He runs and give across, copy and paste,
But he can dribble, though. That's why he's there.
That's not his role. I told him he was going to face difficulties defending, and I think he's facing the difficulties. But yeah, I think that's good for now. And then the last one, this is your pick.
I don't know what to say about this club. I was having a good time watching Real Madrid on Sunday. It was actually 1-1. And for some reason, the referees had to actually answer the phone call and follow instructions. Mbappe, who was it? Brahim Diaz. The guy actually cleared the ball, but his other leg was in motion and he hit him. Just touched him a little bit in the section.
The midfield.
And the referee said, penalty a favor de Real Madrid. Those guys have more than twice as many penalties as we have in La Liga since the VAR came up.
Do you think that was a penalty? Let's be honest, single man.
Listen, that was not a penalty. Ask me why.
Why?
Because the player actually took the ball out. He won the ball, but his leg went up and Brahim Diaz exaggerated.
That's a follow-through. He actually hit Brahim Diaz in the mid-rib. That was a clean...
No. That was a clean dispossession of the ball. It was clean. That's the simple truth of the matter. It was just the fact that Brahim Diaz really sold it very well. He sold it very well because Mbappe dive pay or whatever his name is. Mbappe has been flopping all game, so the referee saw it. But that specific foul against that player, it was not a penalty because he actually won the ball and then his other leg actually followed through. It didn't actually hit his body. It just suspended up, but he sold it very well. He held his grips and he fell down and the referee was compelled to actually give a foul. And they won the game. That's good enough for them. But you're not going to get penalties every game long. There's going to be a game where you actually lose or draw. And this weekend against Valencia, Madrid will not win.
Until then.
But I don't understand. Tell me about all these penalties, though. How can you have 87 penalties?
The thing is that,
and Barca has 43.
Real Madrid has very direct wingers, and they know exactly what to do in the box. And people find fun in kicking our players, not our players, Real Madrid players. People find fun in kicking Real Madrid players. They are very fast, very direct, and you cannot blame.
No, those guys dive.
Which dive?
It's crazy. Wait, does Mbappe dive?
Does Lamine Yamal dive?
Bro,
all players dive once in a while.
Wait, does Mbappe dive?
All players dive once in a while.
No.
All players dive once in a while.
Okay, all players dive. Is Mbappe a diva?
Nah, but to be honest, I feel like the penalties are real penalties, to be honest. And
plenty of them are not.
And honestly, to be honest, if you look at the games, we always have like 2 or 3 penalty shouts. Some are actually penalties that are not called to penalties just because they have problems with Vinicius Junior and his behavior, which is technically fair per se, but you cannot always say that our penalties are not, or Real Madrid's penalties.
I mean, I actually think that, and it could have gone either ways. I think he saw it very well, and I think that's why it was given. But I don't think his leg actually caught Brahim Diaz the way he made it to be. But anyways, this weekend I know Valencia will actually win or draw against Madrid anyways.
Put your money where about this.
I mean, that's what I've been doing all my life, brother.
Okay, guys. Thank you. But please go ahead and like, share, and subscribe before we need to move to the next section. So go down, like, share, subscribe, and tell
us if that was a penalty or not. I mean, we're going to be having a lot of penalty debates because Mbappe is on track to score the highest number of penalty goals in the series. So next week we're going to meet because no Vinicius means Mbappe is going to do his best to get all the penalties.
Well,
I think next week Mbappe is going to play left wing. And then
I think that
Ramos plays striker.
I think that would be a good.
That would be nice.
Yeah, that would be a good one to see and see exactly how it goes.
Yeah. Well, that was a good one. Time to talk about this upcoming weekend. This weekend, we're going to have a spoiler alert to Manchester United. I love Manchester United because I like the style of play. I like how they play open football. I love the players, Amad Diallo, Brian Bruno Fernandes. But unfortunately, the guy who is going to have to shave his hair is going to have to wait for another few weeks. Because whenever you have teams trying to go on streaks, if there's ever a team that can do something unexpected, it's Tottenham Hotspurs. Yeah, I think those guys actually avoid defeat at Old Trafford. The last time they came here was 3-0 victory for them. Now it's a different team, it's a different setting, a different coach, a different mentality. But Spurs have had enough rest, as much rest as Manchester United have had. They're coming off a tie against Man City. I like them in here. Now I know United are red hot, Arsenal, Man City, this and that, Fulham drama, but Spurs will actually keep things close and draw this game.
For me, this game is actually like a repeat of the Europa League.
Of the Europa League. So Man United are actually looking for revenge. Yeah, I know the cards are stacked against me.
I honestly think that United get the win. Spurs coming up of the high from drawing with Man City and everything. I still think they don't have enough in their back to trouble this United side. Cunha is on the roll. Buemo is on the roll. Bruno Fernandes on the roll. Kobe up there. Casemiro. Perfect. I just think Spurs don't have enough in them. To stop United from scoring. United have the firepower. But Spurs, for example, I just don't know. Especially not playing with their fans, even giving them small momentum. I think if they even fall behind by 1 goal, for example, they have nothing to pull them up. So I just think they just don't have enough. And the way United is right now, they are riding those waves. I think people probably come to the field with skateboards, just imitate Cunha when he scores.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. I understand that point of view. But that's also an early kickoff game. So trust me.
7:30 early kickoff games are always terrible, man.
Yeah, so that's going to be interesting to see. But I really know that this game, Spurs can come up with something. And I feel it. I can see it. So you'll see after I saw it. But anyways, next game, we're going to first of all talk about Bayern. Bayern are playing Hoffenheim. We don't talk about the Bundesliga that much, but this is something we have to talk about because it's actually so funny. Bayern, they haven't won the last 2 games in the Bundesliga. Lost to Augsburg, draw against Hamburg. This weekend, they're playing against Hoffenheim, who have won 5 plus games in a row. And they're going to the Bayern Stadium, Allianz Arena, to play against Bayern. if Bayern doesn't win this game and then Dortmund wins, Dortmund closes the gap at the top to less than 5 points. So there's a title race in Germany at this point in time if this happens. So what do you think Kompany has to do to get these guys up? Because I really want to play Bayern to win this game, but I don't really like them. I don't like that right now.
The truth is that when Bayern have adversity like this, or like a big game or a big team, for example, that's actually when they turn up. Especially in Germany, I'm not talking about out of Germany.
Yeah.
I'm talking like, especially in Germany, like when they faced Leipzig at the beginning of the season, it was about 5 or 6-0.
5-6-0, yeah.
So Bayern has this ability of when they are playing a big team in Germany or a team like on a roll or something, they have the perfect ability to humble them. They always face issues against Cologne, smaller teams and stuff, but when they play a team that's on a roll, they have the ability to humble them. So it would not be a surprise to me if Bayern gets a thumping, resounding 4-0, 5-1 win here. It would not be surprising because I feel like this is a kind of match where the players are boosted. They're like, okay, we lost the previous game, we drew the other one. Now we're facing Hoffenheim and they have 5 wins in a row. We need to up our energy and stuff. And they go in and absolutely cruise and hammer them. So I think I'm saying Bayern going here this match and actually hammering Hoffenheim, regardless of their form and everything. I think that's the kind of game where Bayern uses to keep everybody quiet.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to that. But I'm going to watch this game just to see how it unfolds. But as a bettor, I'm not going to be betting on this game at all. At all. And then, probably, before we go to the game of the week, let's go to France. France is called the Farmers League. But, that's where the current champions of Europe actually play. Paris playing Marseille.
Yep, the biggest game in France, to be honest. Yeah, this is the biggest game in France, considering that Marseille was the only team that the Champions League before Paris won. So generally, this is one of the biggest teams in France. This is a derby in France. Very, very big game.
The last time these teams played, Marseille actually beat Paris Saint-Germain 1-0.
So yeah, extremely good game, Paris versus Marseille. Marseille doing good. They have Ethan Nwaneri now.
Yes.
They have one of the best players in France for me at this moment, who is Mason Greenwood.
Mason Greenwood has been electric.
Extremely good. Yeah, that Aubameyang, good player, but
yeah, I mean, for that league, he can actually produce. And he actually scored at the Coupe de France over
when
the
they played each other.
So yeah, I think this is going to be an interesting game to watch. I'm probably going to watch it just because it's before the Super Bowl, so I might use it to pass time. But what do you think? Langs are trying to actually catch up with PSG at the top of the table. So this is going to be a very, very important game because Marseille are always against Paris in every way, shape or form. Either at the league table or the Champions League, they always do not support PSG. Even at the Champions League final against Inter Milan, Marseille were not supporting their fellow French team.
Yeah.
They were actually supporting Inter, that they were the only ones who retained the Champions League in France, but that didn't happen. So this is actually a very good game to watch. And moving on to the actual game of the week, Liverpool against City. What you got there?
Liverpool versus Manchester City. Two teams we contrasting for unfortunately at the moment right now. We have Liverpool coming for a very good 4-1 win against Newcastle, and they will have City drawing against Spurs. Right now, I mean, I think the skills are just seeping a little bit towards Liverpool, to be honest. But I still think here, City versus Liverpool, I just cannot say a clear winner. It looks more like, and not because of the Liverpool team itself, I think it's because of the coach. It's very pragmatic, and it will not be surprising for me to see him play with a very fun formation, having maybe Mo Salah and Florian Wirtz in front, and then being a little bit defensive. It will not be surprising to me at all. Klopp is a very pragmatic coach, and I don't think he's going to come and allow Liverpool players to express themselves. And I think that's where the offense have a problem. I think the team is good and fine, but I just think that's Liverpool come with a very pragmatic approach that will lead the game, not being a high-scoring game. We could probably end 1-0 or 1-1 or 2-1, that kind of thing, meaning close or something. So that's just the issue I have for this game. I think it's more of onslaught than the team itself. I think Man City might just coast it and maybe get a win because they are really, really behind the title race. If they need to do anything in the title race, they need to get a point. They need to get all 3 points from this game.
Yeah, we were talking about the coach. I just miss Klopp. I miss Jurgen Klopp for some reason. Whenever I see Liverpool against Man City, I always just miss Jurgen Klopp because this was a game that you have to get a popcorn or something and you have a masterclass waiting for you.
Absolute.
You have a very, very explosive Liverpool team that is very good defensively against a tactical Man City side with playmakers across the board. Back-to-back chess matches. 2-2 draw, 1-1 draw, 2-1 win. They'll split the games. It used to be a very, very, very ecstatic matchup.
Thumping 5-0 by performance for Liverpool. You know,
with the actual league on the line. I mean, man, this was a very, very good game back in the days, like 3 years ago. And now,
shit show.
You have
absolutely.
You know you're going to be asleep with Man City playing right now. That defense is so open. Same thing in Liverpool. Not really 100%. I mean, but I'm actually going to watch the game. It's going to be an interesting game, and I have a bet in this game because not a bet I love, but a bet I've observed. So we're going to see. But who do you think is going to win this game, though?
I think I'm going a little bit towards City. The only thing that will make this worthwhile game for Liverpool is if the coach releases them. If he allows Liverpool to play with a very progressive lineup, that means having all their 4 attacking players from Wirtz, Ekitike, Gakpo, Salah all starting. I think that's the only thing. And then he tells them to play progressive. But if you start seeing the lineup and you start seeing Curtis Jones, Szoboszlai, McAllister, and you start seeing 3 conservative midfielders, and then in front now you see, I think that's what the problem is going to be. But if you see that he starts all attacking players and everything, I think they might just have the firepower. But if he's conservative, I think Man might just sneak a win because they need to be in the title race. The race to be boring, so yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we don't want the title race to be boring, but we wanted Man City to beat Spurs, and they couldn't beat Spurs. I don't really see Man City beating Liverpool, though, because if you cannot score a second-half goal in 4 straight matches, how can you beat Liverpool at Anfield? Now, I know Liverpool have had their own share of losses over the season, but after a 4-1 win against Newcastle, against a very explosive Newcastle team, and then you're welcoming Man City, who just had a beating in the second half against Spurs, Liverpool will win this game. Liverpool will win this game. So I understand Man City's angle, but I just feel like Liverpool, they have enough to beat that defense. They have enough home support, and I think they get away with a very good win here. And I'm not going to be betting on that, though, but I really think Liverpool can actually get away with a win in this match.
Yeah. I mean, it can go both ways, to be honest. So,
yeah, absolutely. It's a dead even matchup. But yeah, that's a game that you have to definitely tune in and tell us who you think is going to win this game on Sunday.
Yeah.
And then now over to the most interesting non-soccer sport of the weekend, Super Bowl 60.
Yep.
My Slack profile has Saquon Barkley that lifts the trophy. So on Sunday, I'm going to have to change my Slack profile because we're not going to be the champions anymore.
Sam Darnold.
So who do you think is going to win the Super Bowl, brother? You have 4.5. That's the line right now.
Yeah.
Patriots against Seahawks.
I think I'm definitely for Seahawks, to be honest, Sam Darnold. And if you're a betting person, I had this person talking about it online. I can't remember his name, but he was just saying that if you're a betting person, for example, and you want to get something a little bit based on, like, let me say you got to bet on this on let me say Seahawks being the champions. Don't bet on them. Go and bet on the Super Bowl MVP to be.
I'd say that's my bet.
Exactly, Sam Darnold.
That's my bet until it's JSN.
Oh, JSN. And JSN, the odds for JSN is like plus 650 or something. Mm-hmm. So you can sprinkle something on JSN. So instead of taking money and just betting on the win, you can bet on the MVP.
What if Drake May wins? I mean, it doesn't matter.
Though. Yeah. Because let me say, if you in your heart you feel like Seahawks is gonna win, instead of betting there and getting like a small return.
Yeah, like 1.4. Oh, that's nothing.
Use better on which like 1.3 or 2 point something for
2.2
for Sam Darnold to be
MVP. Yeah, that's actually a good.
If your team wins the Super Bowl, there's a high priority the
quarterback wins the MVP
once in a millennium or once in a while. You have the
No, the Patriots can actually stop the run, so they cannot have the running game going like that. Which means in order for them to generate offense, the quarterback has to throw the ball, which is all Sam Darnold, and that's actually my bet in that game. I'm gonna be all over the Seahawks in this game. I'm gonna bet on Sam Darnold to actually win the MVP. I've got the Seahawks to win at halftime and at full time.
Oh wow!
I've got the Seahawks team total over whatever points that is.
Oh,
and I have Sam Darnold to throw 0 interceptions.
Jesus Christ!
I love interceptions. 0 interceptions. 4.
That's a good one. What I have instead. I mean, I don't like the halftime full time because it's tricky for me. But one good bet I have is Drake May's rushing. with the Seahawks defense, for example, I think Drake May has to rush because anytime that he plays an extremely good defense, like Denver Broncos, for example, he has to rush.
Yep.
He has to rush. So, and I don't think that at any point that they'll be leading. I mean, they might be leading, but the problem is that he will need to...
He needs to run to extend plays.
He will need to run to extend plays, exactly.
Yeah.
It's not like they're not getting complete first downs all the time, so he will definitely need to run to extend plays. So I'm going with Drake Mays rushing. I'm going with Sam Darnold's passing. And then I'm going to go with Sam Darnold as the MVP.
Yeah, so, yeah. No, that's definitely a good one. What about your best soccer bets, though? Do you have any best bets I can start?
Yeah. So for my best soccer bets, I'm going to go with Bayern shots. Normally, Bayern win is about 1.25 right now. I actually absolutely love it because I think they're going to thump Hoffenheim. I might even take the spread. But right now, I'm just going to go for Bayern shots. The line's going to be at about 16. I'm going to go for that. And then also Paris versus Marseille. When Paris is playing at home, for example, they will kick. And Paris is not a team that scores 3-4 goals. They have a probability of scoring 1 goal and then they equalize. They'll need to fight back. So Paris shots and Bayern shots, very easy on me. Last week was same thing, easy one, and you winning. This week, I'm going with Bayern and Paris.
Excellent. That's a very good one. I think that's a no sweat bet.
Yeah.
As you know me, I always like to do some kind of surgery here. I'm going to go to England. I'm all on England this weekend. The two most interesting games in England, I'm going to be there. Spurs against Man United. I do not think Man United can actually blow out Spurs. So I've got Spurs plus 1.5 spread. I'm going to be taking 1 goal with Spurs. And then the second one is actually so sweaty. I understand if you don't tell it. I've got Man City team total under 1.5 goals. Man City, they don't score second half goals. They haven't scored a second half goal in 5 straight matches. And I feel like the Anfield is going to be a hostile territory for them. And I have them under 1.5 total goals. So these two bets would cost me 2.35 odds. I love that, and I'm going to be riding with that.
Yeah, I think that's great. That's completely great.
Yeah, and this video, you're going to be watching this video on Thursday, February 5th. That's my birthday, which means on Friday, February 6th, I'm going to be throwing out a 100-odd parlay. 100-odd parlay I'm going to cook. And I'm going to find a way to win the birthday parlay. And if I win a birthday parlay, I'm going to do a giveaway.
Okay.
So let's tune in, guys.
So we're hoping that he wins the parlay. He wins his bet to give us a giveaway next week. And then also, Doc, we put a 100 odd parlay as well. So yeah.
Well, guys, let us know what your best bets this weekend are. And
yeah. Happy birthday, Brandon, in advance when you're watching the video. Happy birthday, Brandon.
And Visca Barca, and hopefully Madrid doesn't get any penalties. All right. Thanks. See you.